Well, guys, Hindu said it would be a quick one, and it was indeed. Six Sigma took Game 2 to even the score out 1-1 in this best-of-3 series. Spicy Waffles, not necessarily against the ropes right now, but, you know, it all comes down to this game. The winner goes home first place.
It looks like both teams favoured to be second pick, as well as Spicy Waffles take that one back and giving Six Sigma the first pick. Means that they get to ban away Sylvanas and Athena away from Deku's scrub, which is his most two prominent gods. We've seen him on so far today. His Geb game was the one that slacked him off. We'll see what they choose here. What this does mean, though, is that Neith is available here, Zayden, and it's being looked at.
Yeah, she was banned out previously. This time, it is going to be picked up by Six Sigma. I wouldn't be surprised to see Poseidon locked in here for Wolfie once again. And with Neith not available, they're going to lock in Ymir, going more like, it could be Ninja Bobat. We saw him play that earlier today. I'd expect Flurry Q, though. It's a god he tends to play fairly often. But yeah, Poseidon locked in. Not really too much of a surprise there. Wolfies, I think, like, if you looked at just Wolfie, it's like 95% Poseidon playing the Challenger Cup.
Yeah, pretty much between the two. That's exactly what he'll do. He'll go for the Poseidon if he can. He plays a lot of Agony too if required, and some Raw mixed in there too. But Six Sigma back to them now, and they can pick up their Agony if they want to here. They had Ymir taken away from them here as well, so they've lost Ymir as well for the possible potential picks. It's going to be interesting to see what they choose here, because Batz seemed to work out well for them with Bulbasaur, and that's what they're going to go to again. And Apollo being locked at right now as well, and going to be locked in.
Yeah, so Double Hunter coming out for Six Sigma this time around. Batz in the jungle. It's not only going to take it away from Bobat, but we've seen Bulbasaur play that last game to pretty good effect, so repeat performance coming out from him. Xbalanque gets locked in on the other side of the board, though. So Apollo is a hyper carry. Xbalanque, though, I'd say kind of like a step up on the hyper carry list of things once he gets that passive stacked up and those bowlers are just branching that nastiness all over the place.
So, counterbalance coming through. We can already see that it's Geb taken away, so more Guardian focus from Spicy Waffles. And across the way, it's going to be an Ul ban from Six Sigma there. Wise to just take away the second Hunter option. And if they want to go Hunters, they're going to go deeper in the pool. But that's going to be an Ares pickup too by Spicy Waffles. That's interesting. You know why? Because that's going to force the Guardian selection even slimmer.
Yeah, it's down. It's slim pickings right now. Who is even less? Kumbhakarna, Bacchus, not...
Hades.
Hades, yeah, I don't know about that. Not as a support. They could go someplace else. Okay, he's a Guardian. That's fair.
I mean, there's also Hercules. There's also Guan Yu that could be picked up here as well. A couple of the warriors can mix in Odin. Yeah. Not so bad against his composition, actually, Odin, and they could look to use that to their advantage. But I don't know if they will. Actually, Odin combines really well with Zhong.
Yeah, they're looking at Guan Yu, Zhong again. Fexus was doing a very, very good job last game with that one. Guan Yu's on this list somewhere. We'll get him hovered over on the screen, as both those gods do end up getting locked in.
Guan's fine. Guan's a really good pick against the Ares here, because obviously his passive will allow him to heal more if he takes more damage, and the dot damage from Ares gives him that, you know, poke that he's going to need. Tallow Assault can't be stopped by the CC from Ares, so he's got good damage potential and wave clear in this matchup, and should be quite tanky.
Oh, not going to see Double Hunter coming out on the side of Spicy Waffles, locking in Loki for Game Hunter for their final pickup. They have a hyper carry. They don't have to worry about the lack of damage coming out from that. They have the Poseidon for that burst mage damage. We've seen Wolfie so many times today just delete somebody from the map. So this is going to be an interesting game. Late game, we saw last week Game Hunter just take it to the poppies in last week's finals, and we got to the 25-30 minute mark and Game Hunter was deleting people. If you can get to the point again today, I expect more of the same.
Wow,
With that said,
three targets. Very easy for him to delete in Apollo, Neith, and Batz. Zhong, not so much. But like I said, with that said, let's see how this one plays out, guys. We'll be back after these guys load themselves in, and we'll bring you all the action.
All right, guys, we are back for what will, one way or another, be the conclusion for Week 3 of the European Challenger Cup. It is currently standing 1-1 on the scoreboard. Six Sigma brought things back Game 2 to take victory over Spicy Waffles. So it all comes down to this, Hindu.
It does come all down to this for Week 3. It would be great for Six Sigma to get these points. Spicy Waffles would secure themselves first if they got the points this week. The Six Sigma wouldn't be too far behind if they keep this up. They should be putting themselves in contention for a top 3 position. At the moment, though, they're currently seeded, I believe it's 9th. So this will definitely bring them into, well, just back into the final. They'll be in the top 8, which is where they want to be going forward.
Yep, there's only 2 more weeks after this of play, so any little points they can get on the board right now will give them slightly better positions. You know, if something goes wrong, the EU is not a fun place to be fighting in the Challenger Cup right now. There's so many good teams. We've seen so many big, huge upsets from for every team. We saw Spicy Waffles, I think it was week 1, knocked out in something like the round of 16, round of 32, something like that. Like, huge upsets coming out. I imagine week 4, week 5, going to be more of the same in that regard. So anything they can get now and lock those slots in as early as possible will just be that much better for the teams.
So the game is not going to be anything special coming out from either side once again. There's going to be no invasions coming on. Just an early ward playstand. Actually, there's no early ward playstand. My mistake. I thought there was one in the speed buff. My bad. I saw it. Just one down in the speed buff to see if they're actually going to go for anything crazy here. There's going to be no invasions. There's going to be Ninja Boba on that Ymir again, which we saw earlier. We'll see how this one works out now that they've got that Ymir Guardians of Jungle, because it's worked out very, very well for the team so far.
And it is, what do you start with? Actually, it does have Hog Eye. We have actually Rage of the Gods coming on, at least, looking for that extra wave clear and minion clearing early on. Back and forth wave clear in the solo lane, nothing really gained or lost. Ninja Boba took a little bit of poke, but otherwise okay for the time being. He's Ymir, he has a lot of it early.
So, rotation comes out finally from Bulbasaur after that first wave goes down. Going to rotate to mid lane, soak some experience there. I don't know though if X is going to leave any experience available for him. He will actually, because he's going to exercise a little bit earlier. Boba will come around with the overhand smash and clear that up nicely. And then they can start rotating for the back harpies. Ninja Boba on his way over. X needs to be a little bit careful there, but he should get out.
Yeah, he's able to do exactly that. Back Harpy is going to be picked up here by 6 Sigma in just a moment. Taking a peek over that left lane, see those chains just falling off a Deku Scrub. He has that heal on Conviction. He did not start with the Bluestone Pen. He has the Watcher's Gift. Means, oh, hello.
Oh, wow. Hello. We did not expect to see that one over there. Mr. Crunchy going aggressive against Game Hunter, finding himself that kill. Game Hunter clearly just overextended and didn't play it the right way to. Left side, though, bit of a fight going on between the two once again.
Yep, back and forth going on. Ares going to drop down to Shackle and head off in the distance. Conviction, Watcher's Gift actually provides a decent extra little chunk of mana. You'll commonly see the Warriors in the dual lane pick up a Bluestone instead to get that much extra poke and harass out. So Deku Scrub's going to be okay. You see his mana bar sitting about halfway. He still has a mana potion reserve. One's currently ticking up. It's healing. It keeps those guys alive, helps deal with the poke.
Mid lane freeze though onto Fexes, does some good damage. The Exorcism was used already. He's getting beat down by the in-hand club of Ninja Boba, but the old passive was kicking in there, so he won't die there. We'll be able to sustain back up one more time. Left side, engagement again. Flurry Q having to defend Bushy, who's been zoned away with the Jaguar.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting matchup. Guan, you can heal up the damage and poke coming out from those two guys. At the same time, they can't really look to dish out too much poke back. Tal's Assault, while it's a great ability, it is essentially a melee range type thing. You have to get up close and personal, and you don't want to do that against that Ares Xbalanque combo. So they do have the wave clear advantage that you can see right here between Neith and Guan Tal's Assault, making quick work of it and pushing the lane towards that tower again.
One is not scared of this lane at all. I mean, what he can do with one you can do in this game is very, very effective. If Ares ults with a no escape, then he can wait till the last second, then charge cavalry. Use cavalry charge rather, and then jump in and cause an issue for them, because there's nothing they can do, because Ares is just a sitting duck then for the damage that you can see put out from a Guan Yu. Harpy's going to be split here though, so it doesn't look like we're going to see a rotation out of Flurry Q, which is quite wise.
Yeah, you can see Sigma looking for that rotation, but it's not going to come out. They had full vision of that one. They were hoping to find a pick. Something I wish more teams would try for that. It's always like a static rotation almost. Like, you know the supports are going to rotate. Just wait for them and kill them. We see it once or twice, but not all that often. It's like a little gambit type thing. You pick up the Harpies afterwards anyway. Yeah, nevertheless, I'm getting off topic here. A little bit of a tangent. Harpies got split 1 for 1. 6 Sigma not able to find that kill they looked for, but they found that early first blood due to the efforts of Mr. Crunchy, taking one off of Game Hunter in that right lane.
Yeah, one thing of game, he also did Mr. Crunchy. He's level 7 against level 5 right now. He's also got the opportunity of stacking that Heartseeker already, which is going to put some pressure onto Game Hunter. Keep an eye on Mr. Crunchy, because it's going to be important for him, honestly, with the rotations with his across the sky, to try and make it work out now for himself. He's going to keep the pressure on this lane a lot longer, and potentially either poke the tower down, keep forcing Game Hunter back, and then looking to rotate once the minion wave's dead. Game Hunter has gone back and got his Heartseeker online finally, but he'll probably lose a couple of minions to the tower here if he's not quick.
Yeah, he will do exactly that. He didn't have Golden Hand for teleport, but did get that Heartseeker built up. Another level or two, plus a handful of stacks in that. The decoy will clear those waves out in one shot, so Mr. Crunchy won't have that big lane push advantage for much longer. Left side of the map, rather, it looks like Spicy Waffles are considering looking at something.
Yep. They're going to find the freeze, they're going to find the Kraken, they're going to find the wall. The wall does not stop the horsey charging through, though, neither does the chain. So we're going to see Deku manage to get out of that and actually cost them 2 ultimates. No escape is available still, though, but they were really looking for the Gold Fury after that pick.
Yeah, definitely. They found it, they could have looked for it, but with that now being down 2 ultimates expended for nothing out of the cavalry charge, They can't look to fight this because Fexa still has that recall demons up and available. They go in, he comes in to charge them. They have no burst from Wolfie with the Poseidon to actually finish him off quickly, and he's just going to be running amok in the middle of a fight, just causing, the ghosts will be everywhere, doing damage to everybody. It wouldn't be a pretty situation for for Six Sigma. Spicy Waffles.
I think that's the situation in this game as well for Spicy Waffles, is what they're looking to do is not let Fexes get as big as he did. Don't give him these fight opportunities where he could get as strong as he did in that game, and allow the rest of the teams to come online and be around them. So it's going to cause them issues if they do that again. And at the moment, though, Spicy and Six Sigma, it's relatively even. That first kill was probably a misplay. It's misplay more than anything else for Game Hunters at 1v1 in that lane. And Mr. Crunchy played it very well to make that happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Spicy Waffles play it slowly for the next 5 minutes or so. As soon as Doom Orb is fully stacked up on Wolfie and that big burst of damage is going to be there, that's when I expect them to look to find something to fight. And if they find something in the meantime, potentially, take a kill, because why not? But that's going to be the point. Doom Orb is fully stacked. Let's force Gold Fury now because we have the advantage. Shoes the Magi, while it's a nice item, it's not providing that big, huge burst like that Kraken, the Doom Orb does for that Kraken.
Well, rotation from Deku's group here, going to look to put down a ward, but going to meet a wall and have to dash away quickly. He's looking for the ward before the mid-harpies spawn, which are due any moment now. Fex is going to have to soak experience in mid with Bulbasaur first of all, and the spawns are pretty much at the same time here.
Yeah, so once again, it's looking like it could be a 1-for-1 trade, but Six Sigma need to fight for the left side camp. Wolfie and Flurry Q.
There's going to be a fight left. It's definitely here. Bulbasaur's on the backside. They've not seen him yet. They will see him now as he jumps in onto Flurry Q. He uses no escape immediately. He can't crack it from Wolfie. He can now, though. And Bulbasaur is deleted. And blink over the wall from Ninja Boba means that Deku Scrub's in trouble. He will also fall to the wayside. And now here comes the Ghost of Fexes.
They're out and they're giving chase, but the health bar is too full to find those kills. It's going to be a 1-for-2 trade. Spicy Waffles coming out just ever so victorious on the back of that fight. One of those went to the bushy as well, so that's an extra 5 physical power in the back of the fight. Wolfie didn't die. His Doom Orb stack's fully intact, plus an extra kill means more gold when he goes back to base next time. Let's see, are they just some counter warring going with Gold Fury, but Game Hunter meanwhile...
Really surprised him actually turned that around so well. I mean, the focus was immediately onto Floki, but his use of the no escape straight away saved him a little bit of pressure. But Fexes is caught out here in the jungle right now, and he's going to eat a lot of poke damage, maybe a wall behind it. There we go, there's the wall. And Floki over the wall with the chains is going to wreck a little bit, but the sustain is not enough actually to bring him down. But here comes Bulbasaur.
One overhand smash, plus a little bit of damage from Deku Scrub secures that second kill. This is going to be a Gold Fury call for those guys. See them heading straight on over that way. Flurky's still nearby. No blink online quite yet. He'll have to stroll on in for that one.
Bushy's here. Game Hunter is here. Mr. Crunchy rotating. There's no elements available for either side other than Game Hunter's Assassinate. Now they're trying to burst it down Flurry. Just get the chains off. He's looking for the hog. Six Sigma get the Gold Fury. Flurry still trying to tank them all up. Game Hunter's a little bit late to this party. Bushy doesn't want to go in alone. And they're going to give that one up and lose Flurry for free. Good call from Six Sigma. Good hog from Deku.
So, Six Sigma coming out at their early onset of game number 3. They took first blood. There's a small little dip on that little bit of a messy fight in the left side Harpies, but they have now picked up that first Gold Fury to find themselves a decent little lead. 2,000 gold, 1.7k experience. Mr. Crunchy found Loki on this right side of the map, but just a couple in hands later, Game Hunter will successfully sneak his way back out to his own lane and relative safety. Mr. Crunchy still looking for something. Health bar is low. There's an Ymir over the wall. That is going to be a very dead Mr. Crunchy. Game Hunter survived the engagement.
He does survive the engagement, and that tower is still falling. I'm surprised that Game Hunter's managed to chip down on Mr. Crunchy's tower as much as he has done, considering he was behind in that lane. Mr. Crunchy rotating a little bit too early, probably, and a little bit too much poke there. But 5-4 is the scoreline. Gold lead of 1,400 for Six Sigma. Experience lead of only about 600 right now, so it's not too much to shout home about, but it is a lead to establish themselves again, and they did this last game, so they can keep doing it. They'll be all right.
Yeah. Taking a look down across the board, we see that Golden Sash, Uncommon Sash. Golden Sash is the next one up on that tree. Looking once again for one of those big, tanky, healthy kind of items. Make Zhong that big monster in the middle team fight with that bit of an overall effective health with his passive. Mini Wave being held mid lane by Deku Scrub to share the love here. Elsewhere, if Wolfie fell, Doom Orb stacks being rebuilt back up. Deku Scrub, really a fan of those reinforced greeds, picking them up on the Guan Yu as well. The Travelers, Talaria boots, generally more favored. It's occasionally going over towards the Shoes of Focus, Shoes of Magi as well. So, unusual, but it helps him very much in the team fights. The crowd control reduction, it's really hard to come by in items in Smite.
It is. It is hard to come down cooldown reduction and crowd control items. So we'll see how this works for them as they take the right hand harpies to Spicy Waffles. Left one's due to spawn a little bit later, but Six Sigma in position for those after the last one. Sentry was on that side of the map vision. I don't think they'll engage on that though, because Wolfie did just base to go back and pick himself up a couple of additional items. And Ninja Boba and Flurry need to be a little bit careful here in this 2v4.
On that left side, Harpies go over to Six Sigma. Right side, I believe Spicy Waffles picked those up just a moment ago. With that, though, a little bit of a group of mid lane blink. No escape does come out. Recall Demons used immediately. That affects his ghosties are going everywhere. The Kraken find a good bunch of damage. He will fall in the end. Recall Demons did a lot. Both are able to answer back 1 for 1 so far. Someone's up in the air, though. Coming down, Wolfie.
Doesn't find the connection, but he does get some good damage off. Fear No Evil as well comes out. Crunchy gets out. Assassinate. He's not used from Game Hunter just yet, but he did do some nice damage to the Vanish. May have to assassinate away and does do so. Bushy is slowly limping his way over here now. Maybe he'll look for a cleanup, but there's a lot of tanky targets and they recognize it.
Rising Jaguar through the enemy team to get back to safety of this tower. Freeze under the tower. Deco Scrub will fall to that. Glacier Strike being maxed on Ninja Bobat. Did a lot of work, inflicted a lot of damage and found that kill. Abilities, ultimates, and all the things on cooldown and health bars dwindling. The engagement has finally come to a close. Back and forth across the board. I don't know. I don't even know who just called victorious. I think it was a 2 for 2 straight across the board in the end.
Yep, 2 for 2 straight across the board. Indeed, the towers still stand as well, which is the important thing. 005 though online for Vote NBK. Meanwhile, Bushy 1-0 and 2 in this lane. You can see their builds as you check in with them right now. Both working Heartseekers online. Bit of a situational difference though between Boots and the RC. Obviously, Neith looking for the extra Warrior Tabby power spike for those Will Weaver shots.
For sure. Breastplate of Valor just complete on Ninja Bobat as well. It's something in the past I've spoken about not really being a huge fan of. I'm starting to come around a little bit, especially with these double hunter metas we're seeing constantly. It's a huge chunk of physical power. With it online, you're going to be taking less than half damage when there's no physical penetration built up by the enemy team quite yet. There's a assy stuck on Apollo already, but yeah, whatever, it's a little bit. It's going to be a lot of protection, but more importantly, that cooldown reduction on Ymir. It's that many more walls, it's that many more frost breaths in the middle of a fight. Ymir is a factor and a monster without that cooldown reduction, never mind when he's throwing stuff around 25% more quickly.
Bit of a farm fest now for the time being, as the Gold Fury is still down for about another 40 seconds time. Game Hunter just continued to farm up and Crunchy hunting him down with the Vanishes more often than not. Left side Neith quite happy to farm 2v1 with the ridiculous amount of strength she's got in her wave clear with that Spirit Arrow.
Yeah. Gold Fury is going to be up in about 20 more seconds. You see the Vision War starting to slowly wind up. Flurry Q has a Sentry Ward in hand. He's going to be making his way back from base here in short order. Looking to clear that out. Vote MBK picking one up himself. You know, I love those hunters actually buying wards. Sometimes even the SPL, you see various people just like, I'm not buying any. Mid lane, Darks and Nice use. Caught out right now. Vex is trying to get away. Recall Demons coming out. Shards Vice for a huge chunk of damage. Can they turn this one around? The damage! Vex is and Mr. Crunchy cleaning up house right now. Bobat trying to run away under his tower. Going to use a wall. Wow. Bulbasaur, Frost Breath, looking for the answer kill. Bulbasaur sneaks out, not finding that one.
Wow, that first crazy but Assassinate comes out from Game Hunter to secure Deku Scrub. Mr. Crunchy though did bring down Game Hunter in trade there, and Bulbasaur on the right side, left side is going to rotate to the Gold Fury, which is being done now. What an absolutely crazy fight! They went for the full focus onto Vexes, who preemptively popped his ultimate there, and then they didn't even have the burst damage to bring him down in time, and even decorate half a Kraken in that engagement too before they did bring it down. That was really good. Honestly, the biggest thing there for me was Mr. Crunchy's rotation was on point.
Exactly. Him coming down was what made that fight. Vexes was flat out caught with his pants down in the melee. The wall, the Frost Breath, all the things came down. He lived. Recall Demons did massive work. They need to keep him down. He's sitting right up at the top of the charts. And more importantly, you see Mr. Crunchy, an 80 carry, sitting above those big, huge burst war mages who are doing so much damage on their own mid-game, or this early on in the game as we approach mid-game. It's going to be rough. Six Sigma right now are on a roll, and I don't say they're necessarily in full control of this game, but they're playing this one really well.
Well, with Wolfie dying there, he's going to be down to 22 stacks. Needs to reform up again. On top of that, sort of Game Hunter, so he's going to be stacking once again. So keep an eye on Spicy Waffles to take this a little bit more passively for the time until those stacks come online. The Six Sigma, though, they're performing well this week, and they've got a nice lead for themselves now. Not just the lead, but a comfortable lead of 5k and 5k experience. 5k experience and 5k gold as well in favour of them. They've got to keep an eye on Game Hunter though. They did pick him up in that engagement and he didn't find a kill, but he's starting to get his items online slowly but surely. The teleport is fully online, Beads is nearly finished, and he's starting to become a hunter now.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Also something to note, words. Vex is in the mid lane with that junk. We did just pick up Warlock Sash. The stacks can take a little while to get going, but that's still a big chunk of extra health. 300 health just for finishing off that item. That effective health with the Recall Demons out is huge. We saw him live last time. Also kind of interesting, Bulbasaur going for a Transcendence. Not something you see. You see Bastet pick it up occasionally, not necessarily out of the jungle quite so often, because it can be fairly hard to find stacks as a jungler.
This tree is hard to find stacks of the jungle, but it's about the power spike that he's going to give him on his overhand smash. It means he's not going to be able to get the crits off that he'd really like to, though, and rely on the lucky crit that will come through just thanks to his passive. But Six Sigma here doing some good work to that tier 1 tower in the middle lane. Ninja Boba has to rotate in, and doesn't find the freeze, unfortunately, onto Deku Scrub, and so Bushy has already rotated too. This is what Bushy needs to happen with Bushy. He's been a little bit late on rotations, but here we go. Here's the no escape.
That's going to be a pull immediately going into this counter charge deep behind the backline. Deku Scrub falls very quickly. Vex has had the Recall Demons already popped, definitely. Crunchy's up in the air, but there's really no opportunity to re-engage on this one. He just, like you said, just dove way too far in the back.
The manly balls were just too big. He was on a horse and too excited, and he just went way too deep into that back line. His team were able to follow, but now they're going to go in with the Fear No Evil. They're grouped up nicely for Mr. Crunchy. The Kraken, though, does some damage, but not enough. Game Hunter might be able to clean some people up here on the backside. Assassinate on Bulbasaur. Mr. Crunchy will go down as well to Game Hunter with that Vanish, and he's now going to be a situation of Game Hunter for the triple. Not right now. Flurry Q's going to survive too. The tower will fall.
It's going to be tier 1 going the way of Six Sigma on this one. It was a 3 for 3. Not a bad trade either which way the tower getting picked up. They could potentially take the tier 2 here as well. Game Hunter's low. Flurry Q cannot stick around. Votamike and Unravel could kill him as low as the health bar is right now. Unfortunately, Decoy is going to make rather quick work of the entire wave. They could look to tank this one up, but the respawns are coming back up. Does Loki have teleport available? He does. If he teleports back in, could look to chase somebody down, but the tower will fall just a little bit too quickly. Six Sigma, a little bit of a messy fight with Deco Scrub going too aggressive on it.
Win the fight.
But no, yeah, they one-handedly.
But Game Hunter is just teleported back in looking for Vote MBK, and the backflip does come out. No Assassinate available for him to secure the kill, so unfortunately the teleport cooldown has been used, and they don't find the Golf here they wanted. And now Six Sigma get left Harpies as well, so that whole fight went in Six Sigma's favour. It may not have looked like it, but it ended up being so.
Yeah, the fight was messy. The fight was questionable. The objectives on the tail end of it, definitely working out their way. With that, though, that ensuing fight that actually kind of got messy, that was them diving the tower with their tank down and no Recall Demons on Vexes. So what, you know, on paper, just what we saw immediately, was a messy fight. Votamike left side, about to get picked up. 1 or 2 more branching bola hits, secure the kill for the Bushy on that one. It looked like a messy fight on paper, but Six Sigma, when you look at what they had available, they had no tanky frontliner, they had no Recall Demons, and they still came out even and found 2 towers in the fight. That was a pretty big overall fight victory for them.
I mean, to be honest, they lost their Recall Demons and they lost their cavalry charge in. But what that did actually was lower their HP bars to within range of potential death. That's when the Fear No Evil hit all 5 members of Spicy Waffles and just split them up and allowed them to get picked off. Actually, 4 members, because then Game Hunter came in for the cleanup. If Game Hunter wasn't there, that fight would have gone so much worse. Probably a Phoenix and a Fire Giant.
Yep. So for now, a little bit of a lull. Gold Fury is about to be up in a couple seconds. We'll see if they group up. A couple of wards in hand for Six Sigma. Not so many for Spicy Waffles, but Flurry Q does have 1 sentry in hand to do a little bit of vision ward fights if needed. We'll see how quickly they look to group up for this one. Because Six Sigma right now, they're looking strong in these fights. No escape. Was that actually just used? That was used in that left lane engagement, so that's on cooldown for a few more seconds. If they go for this Gold Fury right now, they go. Not only do they sneak it in, but nobody is really in position to respond from Spicy Waffles.
They're not at the moment, but I don't think they recognize it themselves to the Six Sigma. If they did, they'd have already started it now. Now the call has been made by Deku, but Flurry Q's on his way. Bushy's in the wings. Wolfie running down mid lane. Bulbasaur is coming over as well. We'll see what happens, but this might be a very quick one for Six Sigma, and a good call from them.
Gold Fury and Six Sigma will secure it. No escape does come out. There's the horse from Deco Scrub once again, running very deep on enemy lines, runs smacking the walls. Votamike finds Flurry Q.
But they do manage to pick up a kill for themselves and a Gold Fury again. Game Hunter, meanwhile, on the right-hand side, doesn't even manage to get to the tower because Mr. Crunchy's back here in time with the Across the Skies. They're doing a good job of Six Sigma of realizing the opportunities they've got and of exploiting them. They are in control of this game right now. Yeah. And this pickup of Vexes in the mid lane is really starting to work out for them.
The gold graph is kind of telling a little bit as well. Last game, we saw Spice Waffles take an objective, but Six Sigma returning that graph. It was always like a downhill slide going towards Six Sigma every time an objective came up. This time around, Spicy Waffles, every time Six Sigma take an objective, the bar stays flat. They take an objective, goes up higher, it stays flat. Take an objective, it stays flat again. Six Sigma are not there's no bleed right now for Six Sigma. They're
Nope.
in control of this and just finding every objective on the back of a couple kills.
The odd Deku, though, caught out of position, may go down there. The conviction heal is going to save him only for a second until the whirlpool takes happen. But Fexes wants blood, and he's going for Wolfie. Vote MBK actually securing that kill with the Whirlweaver. Vote MBK and Fexes both in a world of trouble now, but they're focused on different targets. And Bushy's focused on the minions, hasn't noticed the aggression that was going on, so they don't find a kill there. And with Game Hunter pushing middle lane, this is allowing Mr. Crunchy to free farm the tier 2 on this right side and potentially get it before Game Hunter can even get back. If Mr. Crunchy realizes it, that's an additional 300 gold each in the pockets of Six Sigma.
They're playing this game exceptionally well. Darks of Knights force that left side. Vote MBK surviving it. Unravel, shooting his health back up a good ways while Lifesteal will bring it up most of the remaining way towards full. Right now, I mean, is it even just a matter of wards? I mean, it partially is. If you pull up that wards placed, Six Sigma are in vision control right now on the map. There's not many placed by Spicy Waffles. Bushy went back to base, didn't buy wards. Wolfie's going to pick up a sentry warp, so they need to make sure that Fire Giant Pit is swept out at this point in the game. A lot of it is just down to vision. Six Sigma are able to make these calls as soon as they get vision on somebody, like we saw that last fight. They didn't know where people were. Someone walked across the wards like, oh hey, they're over there. Start the Gold Fury. Wards placed right now, where the vision is. Six Sigma know where people are. They're able to turn on the play. There's only 2 wards right now on the map for Spicy Waffles, and that's not good at this level of play.
I mean, they need to get some wards down for themselves, but they are behind on gold, and I think that's one of the reasons you're seeing less of it. But they do need the wards, you are right, and you already see Deku Scrub and the team are going to start working on the fire gen. They've already pulled it originally as well. No one's really in position for Spicy Waffles to get here. It'll melt quickly, and look at Fex is already on zoning duty. He's very, very smart at this. Bobat's going to be too late to the point, and Bobby is going to be a casualty of wall. Actually, a good wall will save his life for a second at least.
Turkey's waiting around behind the scene on the left-hand side, but they're going to end up backing off. You do not want to fight that team with Fire Giant now in hand of all 5 of them. Ultimates were online, but you know, without being able to zone out Fexes in that situation, they did not want to risk it. They're going to charge straight down mid lane right now as well. Look for a fight. We've seen many mid lane fights just like this in the past. You see that initiation coming up from the defending team and they turn things around. It might have been Spicy Waffles in the past. We've seen do exactly that as well, so... Six Sigma, they have a lead, they have a strong lead, they have Fire Giant buff, but they need to be careful.
They try to find Loki on the backside. Deku's going to get pulled in, but use cavalry charge to actually turn it on Flurry Q, and that's what Guan you can do up against the Ares, and you saw it work there. Even though Flurry Q is behind, but Deku's going to go down the backside and trade now. They'll find the Phoenix, and Bulbasaur is in a bit of trouble. There has to leap away. Game Hunter's waiting for him though. Nope, not on that target. You weren't really after that one. He was after the little monkey, and instead he's going to have to assassinate away. Kraken does hit Fexes though, and Bushy finds that kill. Bulbasaur continues to do work, but his team left him, and now he's going to go down too. There's a potential for an end here.
They're going to look for it. Yeah, they could look for it, but with the fountain there, the health bar is going to be shooting straight on back up. The way that fight was played was actually pretty interesting. But MBK, they knew Game Hunter was on the left-hand side of the fight. He was standing on a ward for a good part of it. Vote MBK was just shooting at Game Hunter the entire time. You try to vanish and run on in. I'm going to look for the auto attacks, keep track on you with the damage numbers, and try and kill you before you're able to actually do anything. And if you use Assassinate on me, well, guess what? The rest of my team's going to turn around and block you down and just burst you immediately. When Recall Demons was popped, he couldn't go in because I'm squishy Loki. I can't look to run and burst somebody because I will just get picked off immediately. So he hung around in the back. They got the Phoenix. They got a couple kills. They were able to answer back. But look where Fire Giant buff is still standing for Six Sigma. It's going to be Hunters and the Ninja Bobat Jungler as well, so they look for these remaining towers. They still have 2 minutes to play with on that buff. They can just look to sweep in left lane, take a tier 2 tower for free, spend some of that gold as they're going back right now. It's going to be about 1,500 in hand for Vote MBK as he spends that, picks himself up. The beginnings of what could be a Rage or potentially a Deathbringer as well. He wants to go for the big extra damage to not only his in-hands, but his abilities as well.
The scariest thing is in this game now is that the Hunters are the ones with the Fire Giant here, with the Gold Fury respawning. Exactly. They're looking for one more pick, and you can see Bushy's just used, Bushy just used his Jaguar. I think he's dead. Deku's coming around the back as well. He's actually going to have to use Darkest of Night to force himself away. That has actually saved his life. But Game Hunter's going to try to split push right hand side, which is going to buy them some time because somebody needs to go back and defend. They need to send someone soon. If they don't, they could lose a Phoenix again. This happened last game. They did win last game, but they lost a Phoenix for free.
It's an interesting trade-off. You can take the left side Phoenix with the right side. If you're trying to do the Fire Giant dance, the right lane Phoenix isn't the worst thing in the world because it's right there. losing the left lane Phoenix, you have to send somebody across the map. They don't have the luxury of an Apollo who can fly into a fight. So...
well, here we go. Phoenix is starting to drop. No escape gets used on Bulbasaur alone, who's just going to beat it out. Fear No Evil in response to zone them for the Phoenix. Meanwhile, Game Hunter is going to get a Phoenix in that right lane. No, Cross the Skies has been used by Apollo to go back and defend, but it's too little, too late. That Phoenix will fall. Now the fight is back, and Deku's running on his horsey.
Wolfie took a decent bit of damage in that one. Wolfie very low in the back. Crunchy secures that kill. Game Hunter is going to be looking to come back from around the back with the teleport, but the entire team is just getting shredded. Mr. Crunchy finds one more. Game Hunter's here, but
I can't see the throw. I don't think they can throw. He's going to get bursted so quickly down. Tallow Assault with the protection shred is going to be enough to bring them down. Six Sigma win.
Yeah. Coming out, first time showing in the finals, take a game off Spicy Waffles, who have placed first in the past. So, you know, we talked about it earlier, you know, where do they stand? There's been some drama, perhaps some roster changes. You know, Deku Scrub is Deku Scrub, love you, buddy. But it's one of these things. They came out today strong. Game 1, a little rocky. They ended up losing, and we saw a little bit of a rocky performance. Like, they got a little set back by an upset at a Gold Fury fight. But they came out strong. Game 2, the Spicy Waffles were taking objective after objective, and there was that bleed I mentioned. Six Sigma were not just letting us go. We lost an objective, well, we're done, guys, we lost the game. They were fighting back, they were farming, they were finding picks. The goal was constantly in their favor. This game, it seemed they had Spicy Waffles' number. Fexes was going crazy again, the Hunters were getting online. They were finding kills. Spicy Waffles were responding well to the team fights, but Six Sigma were answering straight back to those responses.
Six Sigma look pretty good today. Honestly, I've got to give some credit to the Fexes pickup, but the Fexes pickup for Six Sigma has really worked out well for them. That transition in the mid lane has allowed them to look like a potentially top tier team. Will they continue doing this? I don't know, because I think teams will be able to start working them back out. They have ups and downs to Six Sigma, but I'm very, very proud of the guys who've been on that team and done very well to get themselves to a final and actually win. I did not expect them to win one of these competitions. I'll be straight up and honest. I did not, but congratulations to them for doing so. And now they're going to shoot themselves up in the leaderboards and be classed as a threat by the other teams.
Absolutely, guys. That is, though, going to wrap up coverage today for the European Challenger Cup. It was week 3. Next week, we'll be back on Saturday, bright and early for North America. On Sunday, it will be Europe again. So the 5 weeks of open bracket will be winding down here the next couple weeks. People are going to be fighting over those top 8 slots to move on to week 6 and 7 group stages. It's going to be a battle we've seen week in, week out, upsets all over the place, so nobody is actually locked in for a firm seeding spot, and it all comes down to that, and there's a lot of teams fighting for those top 8 spots as well. So that's going to wrap things up for today. We'll see you guys again next week, and for my co-caster Hinderman and for hi-rez, have a great day.